Hi everyone and welcome to today's video where we're going to be looking at Child of Our Time by Evan Boland. This poem was written as a response to the Dublin and Monaghan bombings in 1974 where a young child was murdered by a bomb set off by the UVF. Okay, so the purpose of this video was revision of the poem. You'll have done it in class already, so we're just going to go over the poetic techniques, the themes, the tone. I'm just going to read over the poem and explain it as I go. So we're going to look at verse 1 first. Okay, yesterday I knew no lullaby, but you have taught me overnight to order the song. Okay, so Boland is basically telling yesterday she didn't know a lullaby, but today she does because now she's addressing the child here, you have taught me overnight to order the song. It's like she's been ordered, she's been forced, she feels compelled to write this song or this poem, which takes from your final cry its tune. Okay, the tune of the song has been taken from the child's final cry. So you have the image of the young child, the final cry as they were blown to death. Very, very strong imagery. From your unreasoned end, its reason. So the reason we're writing this poem is because of the unreasoned end that the child came to. So there's a contrast there. And it's highlighting how unreasoned this is and how ridiculous the conflict was and how we need to reassess where at this time in 1974 she is telling society we need to reassess where we are as a society that is when we think that it is okay to kill children. It's rhythm from the discord of your murder. It's motive from the fact you cannot listen. There's an irony here in that she's writing a lullaby or a song for a child who will never hear this song, and that's very sad. The child will never hear what she has to say, and that's why she's writing this song. Okay, verse 2. We here is society. We who should have known how to instruct with rhymes for your waking, rhythms for your sleep. Now, she is saying that we, the adults in the society, we should have been instructing the child. We should have been showing the child how to behave in this world, how to act, with rhymes for your waking. So think about the nursery rhymes that are read to children. Rhythms for your sleep. Names for the animals you took to bed. Now, that's a very, very poignant image about thinking about the teddies and animals that the child may have taken to bed. Highlights the innocence of the child. Tales to distract, legends to protect. So think of the tales that are told to children and the legends that are sent to protect them. Okay, the Little Red Riding Hood and Snow White, don't talk to strangers, those type of legends. Later an idiom for you to keep, so a little saying that might make life easier for the child. Okay, and living must learn from you dead. Okay, there's a bit of alliteration there, and it's also ironic as well that the living must learn from this child. So the adults were supposed to be the ones who were teaching the child, but it now turns out that the child is going to be taught, the adults are going to be taught by the child through his death. Okay, so we're going to go into verse 3. Okay, to make our broken images rebuild themselves around your limbs. She's basically saying that we need to rebuild society and we're going to rebuild them around the child, around his limbs. And again, the limbs gives you a sense of imagery there. You think of the limp body that would have been carried out from the building. Your broken image. Find for your sake whose life or idle talk has cost a new language. Okay, complicated sentence, but she's basically saying we need to find a new language. Okay, the reason we need to find a new language, she doesn't mean we stopped speaking English or Irish or whatever language. She means a new way of speaking. Because the way we speak, or idle talk, has cost the life. Now, idle talk here, in reference to that, in 1974, it was just after the Sunningdale Agreement, and Ian Paisley, when asked about shaking hands across the border, he replied by saying, we'll send bullets across the border. And idle talk there would also mean things like up the IRA, up the UVF, or the idle talk of people who used violence and who used the talk of violence to get their own means is what they're talking about there. So she's saying that we need to build a new language, a new society for his sake. Okay, so your broken image, find for your sake whose life or idle talk has cost a new language. So we need to find a new language which would have saved your life. So no more idle talk about bombings and No more idle talk about, say, writing up the ra on street corners, or FTP, or all those different things that people did. Child of our time, our times have robbed your cradle. Now, that's metaphor, it's also personification. Our times have robbed your cradle. Think of the image there. It's like society basically came in and robbed the cradle, and the image there is the empty cradle. Where a child should have lay, there is an empty cradle. Sleep in a world, your final sleep has woken. So it's his final sleep. When he wakes up, he will be in a different world, and I suppose the hope is that he's in a better world than the one he left. Okay, so just to finish up, we're going to look at the poetic techniques, the imagery. Names for the animals you took to bed. It's also a contrast that we mentioned earlier. Contrast between violence and the animals you took to bed. The innocence contrasted with the violence and harsh reality of the real world. Whose life or idle talk has cost. So bullets across the border, I mentioned from Paisley. Up the IRA, which was written on street corners where people... And then you had up the UVF and FTP... and KAT, kill all tags. Okay, so all this type of talk, it was done to desensitize people from violence and also to dehumanize the other side. So it meant it was okay that Catholics thought if a Protestant died, it was only a Protestant, or if a Protestant died, Catholics, not all Catholics are Protestants, I'm talking about those who were fanatics, who thought that it was okay to do it because they were so dehumanized. Our times have robbed your cradle, also metaphor, personification we mentioned. Okay, so that's a quick summary of Child of Our Time by Eavan Boland. If you like today's content, please give the video a like. Also hit subscribe for more junior and leaving cert revision videos. There will be more Eavan Boland videos throughout the week, so stay tuned. Thank you.